Hi, my name is Crystal Santos, and I will be talking about Module 3 and what I have gained from this module. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is SEL, and that is social and emotional learning. I really liked that the assignment that I had created with my mentor teacher. So, we actually had the students draw a picture of a pig, and they only had 2 minutes to do it. They could add as little or as much detail as they'd like. And then after 2 minutes, they got to stop. And then we went through a I went through a PowerPoint, and then my mentor teacher kind of helped me like ask what questions to ask. She helped me go through those, and so we described, like, for example, like if the pig was in the middle or the top or the bottom, it all told the students different things about themselves. So we really liked hearing the students talk about if the um, if the things that were said about them were true or not. So they got to discuss it with a partner, and then the ones that felt comfortable shared out in the class. And I thought that was a really good way to learn about the students more and to see how, because it also talked about how they learn, like how they have different learning styles. So it was interesting to see if that was a spot on thing or if it wasn't, and then hearing the students tell their why, like why it was or was not true of them. So that was a fun activity I did at Lemoore Elementary with the sixth grade class, and I really enjoyed learning about social and emotional learning because it really helps build a positive classroom ecosystem. The other thing that I learned was more about the classroom ecosystem. My flyer in the beginning was not that detailed, and then I learned that there's so much that goes on in the classroom ecosystem. And as a first year teacher, it kind of seems like a little bit overwhelming because in my classroom at Lemoore Elementary, I've been teaching math lessons, and there is so many things you have to think about. You have to think about your students. You have to think about the content. You have to make sure that you're um, giving feedback that's appropriate at the right time. And there's just so many things that make up the classroom ecosystem. But I think that it was good to make that flyer because it really puts into perspective all the little pieces that make up into your classroom. And sometimes when you're a first year teacher, you just get stuck on one thing. Like, for example, I think I've just been getting stuck on like, what should I be doing? When should I be doing this? And there's just so many more things that I wasn't really looking at the bigger picture. So it really made me look at the bigger picture of my classroom ecosystem. And then I also liked the game from the Iris module because this helped me learn what was appropriate and not appropriate. I think for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory for what's appropriate and not appropriate. But I did like that they pointed out things like having the students help you, because students that are off task sometimes, like if you give them a job and like a purpose, and they're like, yes, I see this now, like I see my purpose, I can help you, and then they kind of come back to the lesson, and then they're being able to get back on task. So I think that was really important from the Iris module. And then the last thing that I included was the Google Slides revision, and I really liked at our meeting that we had in Fresno how we all of our groups shared, and I got to see like all the different sites and how my group really puts into perspective their school. And the one thing that it hadn't included was as many photos as my other members of my team. So I included more photos, like showing pictures of the classroom. It was kind of hard at the time when we had done that. They were testing, and then I was able to go back and then take better pictures because they had the classroom kind of different. So I had to wait until that was all done. So I wasn't able to get as many pictures the first time, but then on this next one, I had a lot more pictures and details, and I did like how we had to come up with the goals. Um, and having the feedback from my group also made me, I was able to focus on what I needed to do better. So I think I really like the collaboration, both from I'm getting from my master teacher when I'm in the classroom. I'm getting so much help, so many helpful pointers on how to be a better teacher, and then also from my Cal State group, and then you, of course. I'm just getting so much feedback, and I know that I am growing so much, and this module has actually helped me create a better environment for my students. And that was module 3.